In previous classes, we studied about monohybrid crosses. Here, from the entire chromosome, we focused on one chromosome. And from the entire length of chromosome, we focused on only one locus which had our gene of interest. We studied the inheritance pattern of this particular gene. Now we'll try to understand the inheritance patterns of two genes simultaneously. Assuming that the genes are located on two different chromosomes, we'll be taking two pairs of chromosomes. This is the locus of the first gene on the first homologous pair, and this is the location of the second gene on second homologous pair. Now supposing the gene 1 on first chromosome codes for seed color. The dominant allele for yellow color, so it is represented by a capital Y, and the recessive allele codes for green color, so a small y. Next, the second gene codes for seed shape. Dominant codes for round, so the symbol would be capital R, and the recessive for wrinkled, so small r. In homozygous dominant parents, the genotype would be YYRR, that is all capitals, and in homozygous recessive it will be all small y, small y, small r, small r. Now, if we cross the capital Y, capital Y, capital R with small YYRR plant, this type of cross is known as dihybrid cross, a cross where simultaneous inheritance patterns of two genes is studied. So let's cross a round yellow seed with a wrinkled green seed. Let's take the round yellow as the female parent and the wrinkled green as the male parent. So capital RRYY is dominant and small rryy is recessive. This is the genotype of homozygous parents. Next, the gametes obtained from the RRYY are all of one type, that is capital R, capital Y, and the gametes obtained from small rryy are of one type, that is small ry. Upon fusion, the zygote will have this genetic combination, since for both the traits, one dominant allele is present in the zygote. So, the seed will show only the dominant phenotype, that is round yellow. Now, if we have to produce the F2 generation, we'll perform a self-cross of F1 generation progenies. That is, capital R, capital Y, small y crossed with the same genotype. 4 types of gamete will be formed by both parents. Now, to obtain F2 generation, let's make a Punnett square. Let's draw a Punnett square first. On the top and at one of the sides, we'll write the gametes we obtained from the previous steps. Male or female gametes can be written on either side. Just remember to write the gametes obtained from one parent on one side only. Don't mix them up. Now we'll start making the combinations. These are the gametes. Now let's focus on this one, this gamete and this gamete. The combination from these two will come here. So we get capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y. Similarly, we'll try to make for this and this. This will be capital R, but since here there is a small y, so one capital Y and the other would be a small y. So similarly, we'll make for this box and so on. Now you have Let's see how many both dominant combinations we have. That is, at least one capital R should be present and at least one capital Y should be present. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 such combinations which are dominant for both the traits. At least one capital R is present in these and at least one capital Y is present in these. So all of these 9 will have round and yellow seeds. Then there are some where one of the dominant traits is present, that is round. So capital R is present at least in one copy, but Y both the copies are small in all these 3 combinations. So we have 3 combinations or 3 of the plants which show round seeds which are green in color. Now let's see for the other combination, wrinkled seeds which are yellow in color. All these 3 have small r's but at least one copy of capital Y. So these are wrinkled seeds with yellow color. Next, there is one that is left which is wrinkled and green. It has both the recessive traits because it has neither capital R nor capital Y. So the phenotypic ratio obtained here is 9:3:3:1. 9 both trait dominant, 3 each, one of the traits dominant and 1 both traits recessive. Now what conclusions can we draw from this dihybrid cross? The female parent initially had round with yellow trait, that is capital R allele with capital Y allele. The male parent had small r allele with small y allele. But in F1, these two came together. You had capital R with small r and capital Y with small y. Now when we cross the F1 progenies, gametes of all types were formed. Capital R came with capital Y, capital R with small r with capital Y and small r with small y. So it isn't that capital R will always stay with capital Y and small r with small y as in the parental combination. All of the new combination have equal likelihood of being made when gametes are being formed. This is known as independent assortment. That is, when you study inheritance pattern of 2 or more genes, all of these are inherited or assorted independently. This is the law of independent assortment and this was Mendel's third law. We saw earlier that the first law of dominance is not universal. Later on we'll see that law of independent assortment also does not hold true in some cases. Now with this we come to the end of this very short session on Mendel's third law. These are your questions for practice. Happy learning. Bye-bye.